Well, you're looking at my summer project. I designed and built a hoist to lift my legs from the floor up above the bed so my wife could swing them in without having to bend down and pick up my heavy legs and stuff off the floor so I can get in bed. So I'm going to try and do this best I can, but anyways. The base, as I sneak in here closer to it, the base is 23 inches from front to rear, and from left to right, it's 22 inches. I wanted to have as much base as I could, but it's got to fit underneath the bed. And then I wanted it to fit underneath the little cabinet shelf like buffet thing that we have in the bedroom, so I can kind of store it out of the way. The tires, I built it all out of 2x2. It's prototype. I didn't even know if it'll work. I'm not sure if it'll work once I get it in there. And the big design issue was was building it so it wouldn't tip over. So as you can see here on the base, as I'll show you here, whenever I put the spine on this, I had to keep it from going over the front, the spine bending or coming apart over the front. So what I ended up doing is at the joint at the bottom there, as you see, the 2x2 going across the back at the bottom is where I attached the spine, and then I put this 2x2 on the top, and this one here is I tap on it with my foot, that one on the top, so that keeps it locked in place so it can't bend over or move forward, because the bottom of the spine, when you put the weight on the winch up here, you put that weight on it, this thing isn't going to go whoosh like that, or it'll actually be like that. It's going to stay put because it's locked in place above and below. So that was the idea behind that. So then I built the spine. I have to look at my measurements again. I think it's, doggone, pretty close to 5 feet, because my feet are going to dangle from the winch. Since my feet are going to go all the way up to the top of the winch, they have to dangle down so that my heels have to clear the top of the mattress. And so I had to build it kind of tall, got the handles on it for turning purposes. The casters that turn are on the front, but not on the rear. That way it can pivot. Trying to keep the weight back towards the back of the tires was the interesting issue as I spin around here. And being that I only had 23 inches to work with, and then I lose about 4 inches for the 2x2 at the bottom and at the 2x2 the spine. So I lose about 4 inches underneath the bed. So I'm actually getting underneath there by about 19 inches. And I need about 17 inches to get my feet and my heels up on the bed fairly well. So I had to work with just a little bit of that piece there, because I have to keep the weight from being either on top of the front wheels or in front of them, or else this thing would roll over the front. It would pull over the front and crash and bang everything else. So that piece up there is only about 17 inches from the back of the spine where it attaches to the nose. And I put a 20-degree angle on it to try to help push more of the weight as it lifts towards the back as well. And then I put that brace in it so that boom that sticks out is going to be nice and solid for whatever kind of weight it lifts. It works pretty good. I've been using it to lift up this 3-gallon portable air compressor, and the little air compressor's got some weight on it. So that's been my test model. I believe I'm done cutting wood for another project that I got going on. So here it is, the beginning of October. It's getting chilly in my garage because I don't have a heater, which really is a drag, but that's okay. So I cut my last piece of wood. So my next trick's going to be whenever I start cleaning up in here tomorrow, I'm going to use this winch to lift. I'm going to close this up, get it all cleaned up, my compound miter saw. Close it all up. I'm going to hook that hook around that handle there, the back handle, not the one with the yellow trigger, but the back handle. I'll lift it up with that and then set it down on the floor and see if I can do that too. Because if it works in the bedroom, I'll probably end up building myself another one and use it for lifting stuff out here in the garage. Like, it'd be kind of smart. Not that I have a lot to lift, but hey, it's a tool. And the winch itself plugs into electrical power, the AC in the house, and it can lift anywhere from 110 to 220 pounds. But heck, I could lift something like that deal up there and put it up on my workbench, and it'd be pretty slick if I can make it happen. So we'll see what happens with that. And the yellow deal there is the remote or the controller. Just two-ended toggle, just an up and down toggle. And oops, one more time, spin around. Woo! Put on more miles having to make turns so I can get angled into the right places and stuff. But see here, getting my other hand, and you can see just a little toggle and all that. And I'm going to pause for a minute, then I'm going to try and prop this thing up so I can manipulate it and show you what it does. Be right back.